All right.
Here we go.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. And welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
It's our Monday, so you know the drill. The one downside to this cardigan, love it. Would never tell anyone not to make it. Double negatives there. It wants to pull back, so it pulls, like I have to settle it right, or else it's gonna pull my shirt up. It's the weight of it, you know.
But part of that is also where your raglan sleeves are.
You think?
Yeah.
They're where the pattern told them to be.
Well, no, they're right. Just
I have to put it differently on. If I just look at Liz dressing me. So if I throw this thing on with the collar way up at the top where I like assume it's supposed to be, the raglan seams don't sit right and it pulls. Yes. Okay. We're on the same page. We're just using different vocabulary.
Part of it is when she puts it on, she pulls it up and that pulls up her t-shirt.
It's like a hoodie. I want to put it way up here and then it's and yeah, so I don't drape it right. I just messed up all the work that Liz did. I'll try to put it back in a nice fashion. Okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in overcast, foggy, whatever you want to call it, downtown Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
We have to let people know who are avidly watching and wondering and waiting. Yes, I fixed the curtain.
Oh, yeah.
Liz is like, what are you about to say? Oh my gosh, what?
Saturday morning.
I finished the curtain. I fixed the curtain Saturday morning. I got a little step ladder out and I went, whoop, da-da. It's on a tension rod. So it just needed to be pushed up, you know. Not you think for that easy of a fix it would have been fixed a while ago, but life anyway. So we had a lovely weekend that some of it was spent stitching with y'all, doing our virtual dual platform sit and stitch on Sunday for 4 hours. So I have only a few things to show off personally because it was things that I looked at or was working on that. And one of the things I worked on that day was my blanket, which is too heavy to bring into the shop. So I did the math. 20 skeins of yarn in this blanket because 10 stripes of holding 200-gram skeins together. So 20 skeins of yarn, right? For when it's done, which is almost done, which is 2,000 grams. If the math is right, 100 grams times 20. Yeah. Add another zero on the on the end, you know, 2, add another zero. I Googled it. That's almost 4.5 pounds for the blanket. For those of us who don't use the metric system, that's a lot. 4.4 pounds.
It's gonna be a nice weighted blanket.
Yes. That's one of the reasons why it's not coming into the shop. It might when it's done. And I just want to and block to show it off, like make one trip in. I was originally going to bring it in when it was done blocked, because then I'd be mailing it from here using our weight and online system, but my parents have offered to maybe take it back with them. So we'll see. If y'all would like a special trip into the shop to show y'all how it came out, let me know. So you did introduce yourself, right?
I did.
Okay. This is the problem when we can see ourselves when we film, because then I become vain. It's probably not that I'm becoming vain, it's probably that I can actualize it. But anyway, that looks lovely what you're working on. Okay. Like we should talk about what we worked on this weekend, right? That's our usual Tuesday deal. That looks I left my Saxony at home. I'll be quiet.
You're fine. I got more knitting done on Monday than I normally do because, you know, getting up super early to watch the Queen's funeral.
You watched the Queen's funeral? Yeah, I did not.
I got some hair in the back done. I changed out my dreads this weekend. And I got some of them done, and then Bernie was up and there was coffee out in the living room. So I went out there to watch it on the big TV, and I sat in my chair, and I got sleeve separation happened on my is it obsidian?
Yes, but what is that's the name of the color.
That's the name. It's my Saxony.
It's Saxony loveliness.
Saxony. I started a second one, which I've been working on all week.
Second Saxony sweater,
yes.
Or holy,
I work at a yarn shop.
I made a little cowl out of the Saxony. I mean, Liz bought it from me. So like when I make a sample, I'm using up my own yarn. When Liz buys a sample, it is still revenue. So it's okay if she buys it up, right? Right? Maybe
I own all the yarns. So like now it's
twisty in here.
But I've started dumping more into one project than, you know.
There's a worsted weight shawl in the most recent pom-pom that I was not going to make, and I'm still on the fence, but my original was I'm not going to make it out of the Saxony because I don't want to use up too much of the Saxony. We've had someone like buy us out of a color. You almost bought us out of a color.
Yes.
Like we're low on some of the colors of Saxony. And so I'm just like, because it would probably take 4 or 5 skeins to make this shawl, but I saw some posts online about it, and I'm going, I could make it out of a different worsted weight yarn.
We have quite a bit of the blue.
The struggle.
The dark blue, but that's the
yes,
same
but that's
color
the color I used. I over ordered that because it's beautiful. So Liz is making this sweater is in the off black, the obsidian.
Yes,
it's almost black. And my cowl is at home because I still need to block it and finish it. And I don't think here's a little bit left of that. I don't think I would want to make this. I'm gonna go grab the magazine in a second. I don't think I would want to make it out of the really dark color because it's got ribbing and I think some cables and things. And while that will show up as evidenced by what I made, it won't show up as well as a lighter color. So I'm debating. I mean, I could make it out of something else we have in the shop that is probably just as lovely. But new worsted weight squishy yarns, oh my gosh, I'm sorely tempted.
I started a second sweater out of it because it is the cuddliest, oh my gosh, softest.
That's why we talked about how soft it was last week, and we had someone buy an entire 10 skeins of a colorway, and I think they were brilliant to do that because then they have enough yarn to do whatever they want. They're 50-gram skeins instead of 100, so it's not quite sweater quantity, but it kind of is. Like you bought 8 for yours.
8,
but you also do crappy stuff.
Yeah.
You gonna do long sleeve?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go get the pom-pom magazine.
Okay, I'm trying to finish this. I will describe it. So both of my sweaters that I am doing out of the Saxony are modifications to the Il Grande Favorito. Just because, and their garter, because I didn't want to purl. One has got stockinette sleeves and one will have gartered sleeves to where I join in the round to do the sleeves, and then they'll be stockinette. So
for our knitters who may not know the terminology,
garter is knit back and forth.
I'm also like teacherly
unless you're in the round. If you're in the round to get garter, you have to knit a row and then purl a row. But it's the squishy.
Yeah, it's the squishy, extra bumpy on both sides.
And stockinette is just flat. It's knit on one side, purl on the back side. This
is stockinette where all the V's are on one side. And the bottom of this is the garter where you've got V's and turtleneck bumps on both sides. There's so many things in the pom-pom. First of all, there's so many things in the pom-pom that are DK weight, which doesn't necessarily line up with a lot of our new yarns, but gorgeous and cabled. Like there's so many things in here that have the cable. I just love cables. Love them, love them, love them. There's also a lot of thinner stuff in here. There's also a lot of color work in this pom-pom. And the color work's not catching my eye as much. Okay, so it's called the Auxin, AUXIN. And it's like got cables and leaves and that is so not showing it off nicely. Nope. For you all. But wouldn't that be lovely in the Saxony? It would be so pretty. And maybe I mean, I could do it in Friday Harbor. There's a lot of other pretty yarns I can discuss later with Liz about doing them in,
I like
I'm
the
looking
wheat
for the,
sweater.
you know, but I think that's DK. It's not I mean, if you went up needle sizes and things like it, which you like to do, you could totally do the wheat sweater. Hang on, I'm looking for other pictures here. You can take a DK sweater. It's just no, you know, I know which one you're talking about. You can take a DK sweater and make it with worsted weight, which is a little thicker with bigger needles, and it comes out bigger, and that works for Liz because she likes the comfy oversized. But this is the shawl that I haven't been doing a lot of shawls lately, and suddenly I'm doing a bunch, but then this is also calling my name. I feel like I need to have at least one thing from each pom-pom that's unfinished in my bag. So, let me find the wheat sweater that Liz likes so much, and I do too. Ooh, this is it. Okay, so this is the one we're calling it, the wheat sweater. I'll look up the real name later. Or now. This is the Winnow cardigan. So it's a cardigan. And it looks like stalks of wheat. And it is also DK. Any of the DK for our shop, fiber space would be lovely. Our DK in fiber space is very low right now. I will try to order some soon. Here's my current issue as a small business shop owner, which I think I have explained to y'all before, is we got all these new yarns in, which we're paying off over time. And sales are good, but when all of a sudden people are buying things that stretch across 5 different companies, and we're getting good returns on that, but then we don't have good enough returns to resupply all of the yarn from 5 different companies. So we have to pick and choose. So I'm working on that. But if everyone out there is waiting for the yarn to come back in from all 5 different companies, it's going to take a little while. So it's the stuff you don't realize until you open a yarn shop.
It's people are like, well, you can just buy another ball. I was like, no, that yarn comes in bags of 10. And
so we're down to like 5 balls.
Yeah.
And you need 8 for a sweater. So I have to order another bag of 10, but I have to order a bag of 10 to replace. I sold 5, but I need to order. It works.
The math is
because it works because we've just started our 6th year in business. We have been successfully open for 5 years, so it works. But it's interesting. Running your own business is interesting. I have loved it though. It has been really, really fun. All right. So you were at sleeve separation on that?
I got to sleeve separation on this.
Did you say you just started that like this weekend?
I started this on Tuesday or Wednesday.
So last week.
Tuesday.
In a week. I find if you really love the yarn or love the pattern or both, it goes faster.
I had like, I don't know, 10 plus rows, and while I was watching on Monday, I got to sleeve separation. But I'm calling it my textural sweater because it's got, so down the front,
it's got the bumpies.
It's got a row of V's,
and you've got the
raglan. It's got a row of V's in the garter.
You can just barely see that with the dark black on our cameras.
And then
yes,
once I start the sleeves, I'm doing Morse code spiraling down.
Morse code?
Morse.
Sorry, I shouldn't poke fun at Liz. I'm sorry. That was bad of me.
Anyway, the D.
Morse code. Yes.
Morse code. Yes, there. It's going to spiral. I'll do a row of Morse code and then a row of just.
And if you want to know what it's going to say, you have to come to Virtual Sit and Stitch and Ask, because we can't repeat those words on this show.
It's a textural.
Is textural like code for language we can't use on this show?
It is for this sweater.
I didn't realize that one was going to be your Morse code sweater.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so that's the obsidian, and then
we have a lot of people trying to call us this morning. I don't know what's going on.
This one is my striped one, and it's even more oversized.
And that's Saxony.
And this is Saxony. It's got a bunch of different.
And that one is garter on the front and back, and stockinette on the sleeves. So the sleeves are have a thinner fabric. Yeah, you can see the bumpies and the part that doesn't have the bumpies.
So I only have a couple more stripes to do on the body, and then I'm finished. This one has the red button band. It'll have a red collar and a red hem.
Cool.
Yeah. So
There's so many colors of this yarn that I'm super tempted to use
he's just
for
yummy.
things. And of course, because the shawl the shawl in here is like a red color. I'm tempted for that red.
The red would be
Oh,
super
that'd be
pretty.
so pretty. I'd be imitating the book like mightily,
You'd
but
be
that
copying
happens.
the book. What?
What? I try not to, but then that's what people want sometimes.
I finished the sleeves.
You finish the sleeves, but they need to be sewn together. You're
Well,
saying
this
something
one,
about it.
this one I crocheted, and I'm not sure I like it, and I
Okay.
wound up with like half an inch of yarn at the end, so that's gonna be fun.
Like
So,
when you put it on, can you tell that there's an edge there that you don't like, or is it just
Um,
aesthetically not pleasing at the moment?
I haven't decided yet, and I think I need to start with a longer piece of yarn instead, because that's all that I had at the end with of the thing.
Mm.
So this is my Fisherman's.
Technically, you still want a yarn chicken though.
I did. Yay! It's mostly
it?
done.
Oh, okay. So the other sleeve hasn't been done yet.
The
so
other
the other
sleeve
sleeve's
hasn't.
just open and
Yeah,
floppy.
it's just open.
Okay.
There's the cables.
Yay! Fantastic. Look at you finishing sweaters and stuff.
Yeah, well,
And
and
then
then this one I got to sleeve separation Saturday or Friday.
what yarn is in
This
that
one
while you get it
is
untangled? Can
my-
you multitask is the question.
No. This one's my
I was
mallow.
like, I could talk while you untangle, but
This one's my mallow stripy sweater, and once again, the sleeves are stockinette, and the body and the front and back's garter, and it's purple and gray and black.
so Liz is having fun Lizifying her sweaters.
Yes.
Kind of like Carolizing, but a little different.
Yes.
What did we say? Like Lizifying often involves bigger needles, bigger yarn.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And but also potentially adapting the pattern and changing it a little bit too. So all right. So for is that
That's it. That's all
everything?
mine.
I mean, so for mine, I am almost done with my ranunculus, as in like I think I just have the bind off and like extra cleanup work to do. The big progress stuff are two of my sweaters. That's the other thing I worked on. I will hold this up because this for local people, this is a class that no one's really signed up for yet, but I think could be cool. You can kind of see on my when it's against my shirt, the filet crochet on this. Honestly, I haven't finished this yet, which could be one of the reasons why people are like meh about taking the class. But this is the squill shawl, and the filet crochet is where you have open and closed boxes. It is getting bigger. I am not done with it yet, but I will still try to finish it because I mean, even if no one takes the class, it's a sample for the shop. Ta-da! I made it with
Pretty.
Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia. DK weight, like that means you can build stuff pretty fast.
Yeah.
I think this might end up taking 2 skeins of this yarn, but I haven't seen yet just to see what's going on. I think these little like they're flowers or boxes or things, you're supposed to make at least 10 of them. And if I count up the side, it's hard to do that and hold it up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I finished 6. So it's going to keep getting, it's going to be a really wide triangle shawl and have a little bit of a lacy bottom on it. I think it's a whole lot of bunch of chains and single crochet and bunch of chains. In the next row, you kind of single crochet into the top of the bunch of chains to make little lacy edging for it. That's like the only crochet thing I worked on this weekend. I'm gonna take my name tag off because the lace weight ranunculus is gonna get
stuck on it.
caught on everything. I got some good work. I split up my virtual sit and stitch into about 3 projects that I mainly worked on, each for about an hour or so. And then I kept working on this one. I was maybe just to where I would start the ribbing when I finished virtual sit and stitch. And now this sleeve on this lace weight ranunculus, I did what I think by my unofficial count was the last row of the lace. It's got about 3 inches of ribbing on the sleeve. So I'm gonna try this on for y'all and we'll see what we think. One of my issues right now is I don't remember how I bound off the other sleeve.
Might be a problem.
I also have catches and pulls on this that I need to fix and ends to weave in. And then gently blocking this. And the blocking could take care of any issues. And I think I can get it. It's not like it's on needles this time, but this part. But the blocking could take care of any discrepancies between length. Like if I did this again, I might make it longer to be like almost a tunic-y thing. But I also didn't want to as I try to I didn't want to run out of I didn't want to go over 2 skeins of this yarn because this is expensive yarn. It's 50-gram skeins of lace weight yarn. So you can totally read my logo through this almost. And I have this little ball left. Believe it or not, these little balls, I probably could have added a couple of inches to the torso, right? This is how much I have left of
That's so funny.
my
It
second.
doesn't look like
skein.
enough to finish binding off.
Oh
but
my
it
gosh,
is.
but it is. Like this has not gotten smaller and I've done like all this work. But look at my second ranunculus is almost done. I will wear it
So
someday when
close.
it's totally finished. I have to bind the sleeve off and gently block it. I probably would have tried an even looser bind off on the torso. I feel like the bind off here is nice and loose. I did go down a needle size for the ribbing and the bind off on this. I kept the same size 10 needle for the ribbing on the sleeves because I wanted them to be loose and open. And yeah, this is totally something that's almost too hot to wear right now, pretty much. Even though it is see-through, it has silk in it and cashmere and alpaca, right?
Yep.
And so it is thin, but it is pretty much probably as warm as the cardigan I had on the beginning of the day today. So this is one thing. My ranunculus, my lace weight one, can finally call done, hopefully by the end of this week. I'm gonna gently take this off. I will say one downside to thin yarn on big needles is it will snag and pull on everything. The yarn's integrity is pretty good, so I can redistribute the stitches. Hang on, I'm getting a call in. Let's go back to the meeting. Hello. It always does it. You guys don't see it, but we don't see ourselves when I get a call in on my cell phone, and it's weird. It's really weird. I also I worked my butt off. Can you find a scale by any chance if you have a second? I worked my butt off on my Luminous Summer. They should all be right up in that corner.
Should be, but
I don't. My fault if they aren't. I worked my butt off on the Luminous Summer, and this is all I have left. But I'm trying to go with the whole people were like, go until you don't have any yarn left. And Liz put in, let's see how many grams of this I have left. Liz put in her stitch marker. I have just under 30 grams left. So I probably can keep going for a while. Liz put in her stitch marker, right?
Yep.
The stitch marker that she laughed and couldn't hide from me. That is here. This is how much I've knit since the stitch marker went in. And maybe if we take up a couple rows, it's like at least 4 inches. And I have a barber cord here, so I'm gonna see if I can put enough stitches in the barber cord to try this on too. This is like a try-on day for me. I have maybe 2 other things to show y'all in here, and if we have time. So while I'm doing this, why don't we talk about the schedule? We have sit and stitch tonight.
yes.
I put a post up on Instagram last night just to get ahead of the game. But go ahead.
From 7 to 9 Eastern time, with the shop phone number 828-877-3550. We had a good Sunday sit and stitch.
We did. That was fun. We will be putting something on sale, at least one of the new yarns, I think, on sale. I have hopes and dreams of getting, like, I started stuff with all the Barocco. And I can't remember if I've shown y'all any of it. We'll see if I have time to really quickly show stuff off. Let's see. I always look at, okay, I think this is the front. I have hopes and dreams of getting most, if not all of the Barocco. Whoops, that's a crochet hook that shouldn't be there. The new Barocco up online, but that's a lot of photography and stuff. And we just have to see what I can get to. So, okay. Ooh, this is a much more comfortable length.
Much better.
Much better. Look at that. From what I tried on before was like up here. I might bind this off pretty soon.
I think you could.
I mean, I can do a little, I have more yarn and I could maximize the use of my yarn. But depending on how itching I am to be done with two more projects, I think this might be a nice, like, it's puckering weird in the back because it's still on the needle. But I think there's only about little over a half an inch left once I switch to the bottom part. Maybe, okay, I'm almost to the pink. Maybe when I hit the pink, that could be one more row. I'll bind off so the bottom of this, because the pink is one of my favorite colors on this. And then the pink could be my bind off rows.
That would work.
I could be done with another project, y'all. I could finish 2 tops this week. How crazy is that? I like this length. As much as people were rooting for me to go until I'm totally out of yarn, I think I can be very happy with maybe another row and then finishing this. Y'all can let me know what you think too. So, and blocking might give me a little added length with cotton. It's sometimes unclear and I don't want to aggressively block this. I don't think I need this to get any bigger. I could always try pulling down if I wanted more length, but I'm happy with this because like my t-shirt's up here. Ta-da!
I like it.
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Ah! And we did order more of the blue and purple because we have a customer who pre-ordered some of it and we should have more of the blue and the really fun blue and purple in stock. I think we still have some of this in stock. So anyway, that was my other thing. I'm going to keep this one on because we're almost out of time. Dear Becky and Lizzie, or just for us to get set up and stuff.
Yeah.
Although my crochet lesson had to cancel, which is fine. We're pretty flexible when we need to be here. Let me show my last one. So Dear Becky and Lizzie is on Thursday, right? And if you have a question for us, I think we had someone who gave us a bunch of topics that we can pull from, but if you have anything specific you'd like us to address, you can always email her.
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
I got this a little further so that I could do it for a morning meditation, but it really doesn't look much different than before because I've only done a few rows, but I'm getting there on this guy. I can't remember what I showed off last week.
I don't think you'd started playing with those two.
With the new stuff.
Uh-huh.
So this is Wizard, which we may talk about this week. I don't know what we're putting on sale tomorrow. We have so many new yarns. One of them will go on sale tomorrow. But Wizard is this chainette that is multicolored. And I'm making an oversized yummy cardigan called the Reluctant Homeschooler by Caitlin Hunter, which would be beautiful in any chunky yarn because technically this is chunky, even if it doesn't look it, because chainettes, you want to knit on a bigger needle and let them fluff. They can be warm but lightweight. So this is one pocket, testing my gauge by making a pocket. And the other pocket's going to have all this light. So they're going to be mismatched pockets. I'm kind of digging that right now.
That's going to be so cool.
The Reluctant Homeschooler is a bottom up, like one piece sweater. So you make sleeves and put them on holders and you make the torso and then you combine them all and decrease. And some people like that and some people don't. I really haven't made one fully that way yet. I have a couple in the works. So we're going to see how that goes. I think I did show y'all and I haven't made that much more progress on this one. I do need bigger needles if I'm going to keep working on this. With the Harriet Finds what was on sale up until tomorrow. So I've made some more progress. It's lovely. I just have too many projects, but I'm going to finish 2 this week.
It's a good thing she's going to finish 2 because she started like 4. I know there's a whole lot of pot kettle here.
No,
so
I'm not even pot kettling you. I'm just like, okay. So let me show you. Sesame is another Barocco yarn that is multicolored, worsted weight. And believe it or not, so I'm going to make Melanie Rice's Nautilo cowl, which is a whole lot of garter. And then these wedges of stockinette to like give it a sloping effect. And I have it probably not in front of us here, but I've made it in a solid, and her sample is in a solid. And I made it in a solid, and people are like, meh. I posted about this on morning meditation on Instagram with I'm loving these like fall colors, but then there's a little bit of pink in here too, and gray, and oh my gosh, so pretty. I think it'll highlight really well on the Nautilo because there's not a whole lot of stitch definition in the Nautilo necessarily. But at the end of this post, I threw in Melanie Rice's picture of the solid Nautilo cowl, and everybody is losing their minds over that picture on Facebook. Because Facebook will occasionally just only give you one picture. And it's chosen that one, which is not mine, but looks a lot like the one I've already made for the shop, which people will see and go, "Nyeh," or they don't notice it here in the shop. Maybe we're not displaying it well enough. But people are going to go, that's exquisite and it's beautiful. And I love that, but it's like, that one's not mine. This may not look the same, but to do that Nautilo cowl, I mean, in a solid color too would be gorgeous. I did it in the Cascade 220. So just basic wool.
It's gonna look cool no matter what. It would look cool out of our cotton. It would look cool out of all of it.
It's a drapey kind of, it's a triangle, but kind of irregularly shaped where it has a curve to it and then a straight side. So it's a triangle cowl technically, but it's asymmetrical. So it's funky. So we'll see if I can make progress on that. And then, and we have a yarn from Barocco I haven't even started, and I have 2 projects I'm thinking about for that. But this is a chunky, it's technically super bulky. It's on the lighter end of super bulky. It's called Lana's Quick. I know I'm going over all these new yarns way too fast. Don't worry, we will highlight them as we go slowly on Wednesdays. But this color, this Grello color was, oh my gosh, calling my name. So I am making one of those Outlander type, Little Women type shawls. I'm using a pattern that has Outlander in the title. It is garter. It is it's going quickly because I'm on an 11. It is just a symmetrical triangle cowl. I'll try to put the name in the comments. I'll try to remember all these projects. I'm using this, and then we got a color that has little hints of this gold Grello in it. Like, so much of our palette would work really, really well. But Liz suggested this one, which is kind of a tealy green that has little flecks of the gold in it, the Grello in it. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. This could take upwards of at least 1,000 yards though, and each one of these only has about 100 yards. So it's gonna take a butt ton of yarn. This is still my first skein though. Look how much I've already gotten.
That's so cool.
I think I'm gonna make the extra large size. I don't usually, but go big or go home, right? So I've started all this stuff, and we have to go open the shop. So we'll circle back to things on Thursday if there's time and energy for it, and if we've made progress. Otherwise, we'll talk about other stuff on Thursday. Tune in tomorrow to see which of all of these lovely new yarns we're putting on sale. There's the Mallow, there's the Saxony from Juniper Moon. They're already up online. We'll see. We're low on some of them already though. The Barocco, we've got the Sesame, we've got the Wizard, we have Lana's Quick, and we have Ultra Alpaca Chunky. So many options. And you'll have to wait till tomorrow to see which one we put on sale.
We won't know till tomorrow.
Yeah, we haven't decided yet. We have to think about that today. So anyway, we have to go. It's good to see y'all. Look, maybe I'll wear a finished version, probably unblocked, but finished version of one of my 2 projects tomorrow. Even tomorrow, definitely Thursday. We got Sit and Stitch tonight. I can definitely finish one of these or both of them. Oh my gosh, that'd be so much fun. Although
like
the new projects are all calling my name. Yes.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.
Have a good day. Bye.